Hi, it's TK with the weekly words of encouragement. You may know the story of Daniel in the lion's den, but that's just one example found in the book of Daniel of how Daniel and his three friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, maintained their integrity in the midst of opposition in Babylon. Their stories provide us encouragement to maintain our integrity in the midst of the lion's dens of this world. They didn't succumb to societal pressure to conform when conforming would violate their faith and beliefs, and neither should we. Dictionary.com defines integrity as adherence to moral and ethical principles, soundness of moral character, honesty. From the first chapter, these men faced choices that challenged their integrity. In Daniel chapter 1, we read about their first challenge. As Jewish men, Daniel and his friends followed the kosher food laws found in the Torah. So when the king of Babylon wanted to feed them rich foods and drinks, Daniel resisted eating the unacceptable food. He obeyed God's laws in a culture that did not honor God. To maintain his integrity, Daniel negotiated with the king's official to allow the Jewish men to eat only vegetables and water for 10 days. Then the official could compare them to those who ate the king's rich food. At the end of the test, they looked healthier than those who ate the king's food, so they were allowed to only eat vegetables and water moving forward. By maintaining their integrity, these young men were able to show the strength and validity of their faith. Then in Daniel chapter 3, we read about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego facing the fiery furnace for refusing to bow to King Nebuchadnezzar's gold statue. They maintained their integrity, saying, "O Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God whom we serve is able to save us. He will rescue us from your power, your majesty. But even if he doesn't, we want to make it clear to you, your majesty, that we will never serve your gods or worship the gold statue you have set up." In the face of certain death, they refused to bow. As my study Bible notes, we need to be prepared to say, if he rescues me or if he doesn't, I will serve only God. Because of their refusal to bow, the king had the furnace heated 7 times hotter than normal before throwing the 3 men in, yet they emerged from the fire untouched. They didn't even smell of smoke. Look at God. By maintaining their integrity and refusing to bow, these men opened the door for God to show the Babylonians that there was no God like the God of Israel. We can follow their example by refusing to bow down to the culture or sacrifice our integrity for acceptance in this evil world. In Daniel chapter 6, Daniel faced the lion's den. The king had appointed Daniel and 2 others as administrators over the kingdom's 120 provinces, and the king planned to promote Daniel, so the other government officials were jealous. They tried to find fault in Daniel's work, but he was faithful, always responsible, and completely trustworthy, so they decided to attack his religion. These officials convinced King Darius to enact a law prohibiting anyone from praying to any entity, human or divine, except the king. Violators would be thrown into a lion's den. But when Daniel learned that the law had been signed, he went home and knelt down as usual in his upstairs room with its windows open toward Jerusalem. He prayed 3 times a day, just as he always had done, giving thanks to his God. Like his friends, he maintained his integrity in the face of certain death. Daniel must have had a reputation for praying often because the officials found him praying to God for help and they snitched to the king. When the king found out it was Daniel who had violated the law, he was deeply troubled. But with no way to revoke the law, the king gave orders for Daniel to be arrested and thrown into the lion's den. The king respected the strength of Daniel's faith as reflected in his statement, "May your God, whom you serve so faithfully, rescue you." Early the next morning, the king went to the lion's den and called out, "Daniel, servant of the living God, was your God, whom you serve so faithfully, able to rescue you from the lions?" And to the king's relief, Daniel responded, "My God sent his angel to shut the lions' mouths so that they would not hurt me." At the king's command, Daniel was lifted out of the lion's den, and get this, not a scratch was found on him, for he had trusted in his God. Just like God protected Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace, he protected Daniel in the lion's den. Why? Because they prioritized their relationship with God over conforming to societal expectations. They maintained their integrity. I know we all face intense pressure to conform to this world. We may feel like our livelihoods require us to bow down to the standards of society, but we need to remember who we serve, God. And the book of Daniel offers us many reminders that our God can and will rescue us when we maintain our integrity. I encourage you to pray the words of King David found in Psalm chapter 25, verse 21. "May integrity and honesty protect me, for I put my hope in you." I pray you have a blessed week, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.